and a very warm welcome. We're at Prestwick EGPK Kilo. We're in the Fenix A320 EasyJet livery. It's one of mine, and we're going to be doing circuits, base training in this. And I've just watched a fabulous video, a series of videos for this, and I have heavily used all that lovely information to create this video. Hopefully I'll get it right, but it is very new to me doing circuits properly in the Airbus. So let's see how we get on. Okay, so first of all, let's get inside the aircraft, and we're going to just start with the briefing. So we are at Prestwick. Prestwick is 65 feet altitude. We're going to be using runway 12, which is just a shade under 3,000 meters in length. I've not done any circuits here before, so the lay of the land is going to be new to me. Why Prestwick? Because a good friend of mine actually did base training in an Embraer here at Prestwick, so I thought that would be nice. So anyway, whether I've got just the default few clouds selected, and I've made sure that the cloud base is higher than my circuit level. The circuit level is going to be 1,500 feet. Okay, so 1,500 feet, and we are going to just ignore the 65 feet that Prestwick is at. Just makes the numbers a bit easier to use on the MCP and so on. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to go straight to the MacDo. Okay, and we want to go to the init ref page, and we're just going to work from here because of course we've got no SimBrief flight plan for this. So let's type in Echo Golf Papa Kilo / Echo Golf Papa Kilo. That's the start and the destination ICAO, obviously Prestwick. So put that into right one. I'm going to get rid of the scratch pad messages. There we go. We're going to put the flight number in, so we're going to call it EZ995. Cost index, we're not going to worry about that. That's going to be a 0, and we're going to put in a cruise altitude of 1,500 feet. Okay, and we want to put in the ground temperature. So at the moment it's showing 15 degrees, and that is correct, and that's because when you run something like few clouds or clear skies, it runs what's called the standard atmosphere, the ICAO standard atmosphere, which is, I've got to remember, 1225 grams per cubic meter. It is 15 degrees. It is 1013 for the QNH. All fabulous things like that. These are all for my PPL days, not anything else. Right, and then we want to go. So we've done the cruise altitude, and we've got the ground temperature, which we could just enter manually if we wanted to. There we go, 15. Okay, so that's done, and then we want to go to the flight plan page, and what we want to do is to go to the departure ICAO, click on departure, and we want the runway we're going to use, and that's runway 12. We don't want any departures, no transitions, just insert. Then we go to the arrival, which is obviously still Prestwick, so we click left 6, then we go to arrival, and now we want to scroll up and down this list until we get to just the runways. It'll present you with the approaches that are available. We're not going to do any approaches, this is all VFR. We're going to keep scrolling down until we just get to the base runways, and when we see the runway we want, we select it. 12. There we go. And we don't want any approach vias, so I'm not quite sure why it's giving me approach via. No via. We'll select none, do return, and do insert. So we just got a very, very basic flight plan, and we want to go to the EFIS panel and just go to nav. So we've got like this arc, sorry, the compass rose. Okay, so once we've done that, we need to go to the EFB, and we want to go to the mass and balance. So it's the Fenix menu and mass and balance, and this video that I saw, and I will put links to it, to them, they suggested that 15 people is usually the amount of you know, people on board an aircraft when it's doing base training, because you've got the training captain, you've got a couple of first officers just there to keep an eye on things, and usually, you know, 6 to 8 to 10, I don't know, training pilots. Each training pilot will do 6 circuits, so that's roughly 45 minutes of flying time. Then you've got to plan for an alternate, then you've got to fly to Prestwick. We're currently sitting at Prestwick, but for instance my friend did circuits at Prestwick, but they flew there from, I think it was either Exeter or Southampton, I'm pretty sure it was Exeter. So you've got a full flight from Exeter to Prestwick, 45 minutes per candidate plus alternate. So yeah, you need to put a bit of fuel in as well. So anyway, let's add 15 people. Oops, not 21. 15. And fuel, let's just do £6,000 or something like that. Not sure I can get any more accurate than that. 6,100, that'll do. Apply and load. Okay, so we've got that loaded. I'm not sure what that message was. Just do that again. Apply. I think we're asking for less fuel than we've got. Let's go to 6,200. I don't like sliders, they are so hard to get. Can I use the wheel? No, I can't. Can I type? Oh, we can. Right, so let's do 6,500. Sorted. Apply. Nope. Let's just reset that. Let's go to, oh, see, we're still in pounds there. Why is that? Units, feet, pounds, there we go, kilograms. Better. Pressure is in hectopascal. Distance in feet. Mass and balance. Let's try this again. 15 passengers. Fuel, 6,000 kilos. Apply and load. Dismiss. Load aircraft, that's better, and we'll do load instant. Okay, so it just so happens that my aircraft was set to pounds, so that's all good. We've got 15 people on board, 6,000 kilos of fuel, and I am reading, I made notes from this, from these 2 videos, so I'm just reading through that. So if you're wondering what I'm referring to, I will bring it across now. I will share this, of course. I've made a checklist from the videos, so I will share this. So we'll take it off screen. Okay, so mass and balance we've done. We need to send it to the MCDU. Success. Then we go to the MacDo. We go to init page. Go to the second page, and we've got all that data in. Okay, the aircraft is very light. It's going to climb like a rocket. Okay, so we need to go now to the takeoff page, and of course we've got no flight plan, so we can't just sync the information, so we've got to enter it. So ICAO code is Echo Golf Papa Kilo runway is 12, surface is dry. We can sync the load sheet because that's taken from the data we've just entered, and no point in syncing the weather because I've got few clouds set. So the wind, it's a still wind, so I'm just going to enter 120 at 2 knots. Temperature is 15. QNH is 1013. Okay, so that's all set, and I just do calculate. Now let's look quickly at the Navigraph chart. So we're sitting here somewhere by the terminal at Prestwick. We're going to be using runway 12, so we've got a very short taxi. The video I watched, they said that they do an intersection takeoff. They do this in the middle of France somewhere, an airport I've never heard of before. And we could do the same. We could use kilo to take off, but then I'd need to work out what the amount of runway that we've got. So the full length of this runway is about 3,000 meters. Okay, we're just going to taxi to Juliet and use the full length. If you wanted to use an intersection, you'd have to work out how much runway you actually do have. But you would need to do that anyway, not just for base training, you know, if you're using an intersection takeoff. And if you were to use an intersection, you would put that data in here. So let's just do calculate, because we're using the full length. So we've got 130, 130, 130, flaps 1, flex of, I think that says 68. Okay, so we can send that to the MACD, and again we just check that's present on the PFD, and we go to the perf page and we check that that's present there, and it is. Okay, so let's get a squawk in. So we're just going to do VFR, so we're going to put in 7,000, just a general conspicuity code, I think it is. At least it was in my day. Okay, so we've done the takeoff. Now we've got the MACD. We check the performance page, which we've got now on screen. And whilst we're on this performance section, we're going to go straight to the landing page. And we're going to put in the data here. So 1013. Temperature is 15. The wind I said was 120 at 2. Not that there is any wind, but at least we've got something. And no barrow, because this is a VFR, that we're not doing an approach, so we don't need to get down to a particular minimum to look out the window, see if the runway is there. And no barrow. Okay, so that's set, and then we can go to the EFIS panel here. So we've got the QNH set 1013. We're on nav display, which means that we've got the compass rows. Just need to scroll down my little checklist. Okay, now we need to enter some fixed data, because whilst we've got a basic representation of the flight, I can just zoom in here to there. Okay, we haven't really got anything to help us with the circuit. We're going to put 2 fixes in. Okay, so on the flight plan page, okay, what we need to do is to click any of the waypoints. Okay, we've got a flight plan disco, not worried about that. I'm going to click either the altitude here or the approach fix here. So I'm just going to click there. So left select that, and then go to right one for fix info. And here I want to put in a line on the runway, because we're going to be doing a left-hand circuit. So take off, left onto base, left onto downwind, left onto base. Sorry, take off, left onto crosswind, left onto downwind, left onto base, left onto final. Except actually we'll be doing a continuous turn from takeoff to downwind. And when we get to downwind, left hand, okay, the airport will be on our left. And what we want to do is to start a timer when we get a beam, the numbers here, because then we're going to time 45 seconds. But what we want is the ND to show us a line. Okay, we're going to put on the nav display a line here. So our takeoff is 120, so I'm going to do 120 less 90, and that gives me 030. So if I put a line 030, that's going to put a line from the 12 numbers emanating out from the 12 numbers like this. So when we cross that point, we know when to start our clock. So 030, so 120 minus 90 is 030. So the fix here is going to be the ICAO, Echo Golf Papa Kilo. The runway is 12. Put that into the reference. And what we want now is the radial, which is 030. And now we should have on the nav display, if I've got this right, we should have a dotted line coming out. There we go, dotted line. Okay, so we're going to take off, do a continuous turn down to downwind, and now we've got a line, and when we cross that line, we can start our clock. Next thing we need to do is to put a circle around the airport, okay, because we need some sort of boundaries. We don't want to be flying off, you know, to Glasgow or anywhere. You know, we want to put basically a 4-mile circle around the airport. That just gives us something to work within. So we need to get a second fix. And if you look at the top of the MacDo, you've got a left and right arrow, so we can just use the right arrow, okay, here, to go to the next fix. And the next fix is just going to be something around the airport. Echo Golf Papa Kilo. And we want a 4-mile radius. So 4 into left 4. And now if you look at the nav display, we should have a green dotted circle 4 miles all the way around the airport. Not green, blue. All the way around the airport. Okay? So that gives us just basically some parameters to stay within, so we're never that far from the airport. Okay? Right, so we've done that, we've done the fixes. Then we need to do, I've just got to go up to the EFIS display, and we need to put constraints on, but there won't be any constraints, I don't think. No constraints. Do we need ADF or VORs? Well, the video I watched, which was really good, basically said don't clutter this too much. We've already got a lot of data on there. You know, yes, there might be some VORs and ADFs, but you know, put them on if you really need them, but try not to over clutter this. Okay, then we just need to go to our MacDo's, and we need to select performance page, takeoff performance page on hours, and on the co-pilots we can go to the flight plan page. Okay, so we are pretty much set now. We're on APU, so we're on turnaround state. Just get the seatbelt signs on. Okay, this is one flight that we can do with the door open, because the rest of the crew want to be looking in. And if we just go outside, you'll see that we've got no ground servicing, just got the doors, the stairs and the doors. So we just need to get rid of those. So we go to our Fenix menu, ground, we can close the door, get rid of the stairs. We'll just check that the parking brake is on, and it is. So chocks and cones can come off. Right, I think we're good there. And what we can do now is we can get a pushback and Oh yeah, no, one more thing. I need to put our circuit height here, so that's 1500. That was a good catch. Okay, I think I've got that on my yeah, altitude 1500 on my checklist. Okay, and so now we need to do the actual circuit. So let's get started, and I'll just run through this very quickly. So we'll just pre-plan the pushback. Just get up to this one here. Press pushback, release parking brake, switch on our beacon light, let everybody know we're going to start, fuel pumps can go on, passenger signs are on, get rid of the hold. Okay, now we can start number 2. Okay. Look outside. I haven't got traffic on, and I'm not obviously going to use APC. This is freeware Prestwick Airport. It's available from flightsim.to. Number 2 starting, there it goes. I've always liked this EasyJet livery, their 200th aircraft, I think it was, to celebrate. I used to call it my Tic Tac livery, but people used to get annoyed with that because it looks like an orange Tic Tac. Okay, so number 2 started, so we can go to number 1. Okay, so while the engine's starting, we just do a quick process. So what we're going to do, visual circuits runway 12 Prestwick. These are going to be touch and go, so we won't use auto brake or reverses. Priorities are altitude and speed management. Okay, now speed management is going to be by virtue of the fact that as soon as we've taken off, we're going to select approach phase. Okay, which means, right, so park brake can come on. I can get rid of the pushback. Okay, so as soon as we've taken off, we're going to use a couple of modes that probably we haven't covered before. So we're going to have arm or activate approach phase shown on our performance page here as soon as we're in the air, and we're going to activate it straight away, which means that the aircraft will stay at the flap speeds. So we're going to stay with flap 1 for the whole flight, then on base we're going to go flap 2, gear down, flap 3, flap full. Okay, and on the rollout we're going to select flap 2, we're going to take off on flap 2, and on the climb out we're going to go back to flap 1, but the flying will be with flap 1. Right, so let's just get rid of the APU. APU's off. Probing window can come on. I can get our taxi lights and our turn off lights. I can put flap down. No auto brake, of course. Put our transponder on. Our door is open. Switch off the start selector, and auto brake and spoilers can stay off. Weather radar, we don't need that today because we've got few clouds. It's a nice warm day, so really we can start to taxi. So let's get rid of that park brake, and the aircraft should start to move on its own because it's very light. Yeah, there it goes, even with CFM engines. So what we're going to do, we're going to taxi to runway 12, and I'll just get the so we are here at the moment. We're going to taxi on Juliet to holding point 12. Okay, so give it a little bit of welly. So we're going to taxi along there. look to our right, clear, look to our left, we're clear, and I need to get my auto FPS running, so I'll do that when I just get straightened out on this taxiway. Okay, no auto brake needed, cabin signs, spoilers don't need to be armed, or do they? I guess in case we abort the takeoff they do. I'm going to run with this at the moment. Takeoff config is okay. And the predictive wind shear, I guess we should get on. Okay, so what did I say I needed? The auto FPS. So I'm just taxiing on non-idle power here, but it's picking up speed. Okay, so we're just going to come to a stop, just to make sure we're all set. Okay, and we'll just do a bit more of the briefing. So we're going to take off on flex. As soon as we're airborne, we're going to put the gear up. And as soon as the gear is up, we're going to go to climb power, climb detent. We are going to put track FPA on. That's going to give us not the flight director. We're going to put track FPA on. We're going to switch the flight director off, and that's going to give us what's called the bird. It's basically just like a little circle with a line going through it. It looks a bit like a bird, I guess. Okay, so we'll replace the flight director that we know with the bird, which is for visual flight, and we're going to activate the approach phase straight away, and then we're going to do a continuous rate 1 turn to downwind, and we're going to level off at 1500 feet, and we're going to continue downwind with flaps 1 set, and when we get past this line we're going to start our clock, time 45 seconds. If there is a wind, you would add 1 second for every knot of headwind you get, and for every knot of tailwind you've got, you would subtract 1 second. But we've got no wind today. Right, so let's get our strobes on, get our landing lights on. Okay, and we can just do a quick check that this circuit is clear. So we've got clear on the left, clear on the right. Let's just taxi onto the runway. So this displaced threshold, so we can use this for takeoff, but not for landing. So just make a note of that. When we come down for a landing, we're not going to be landing on the displaced threshold. Okay, so we've lined up. So as usual, we're going to give it a bit of forward pressure on the stick, okay, which will release at 100 knots. So I think we're good. So let's spool the engines up. Okay, they're stable. We're going to flex.
Flex
okay.
set.
Man
Airspeed
flex
alive.
68. SRS runway auto thrusted blue.
100 knots.
100 knots. Back pressure is off. We're looking for rotate.
V1. Rotate.
Okay. So
Positive climb.
positive climb. Gear can come up.
Gear up.
Okay, so we're going to go straight away. We're going to go track FPA mode, flight director off, climb and
Climb set.
activate approach phase. Okay, 1500 feet. We're going to start our turn to downwind. Make sure we don't bust that altitude. That's really important. And because we're in approach phase, the aircraft is staying now nicely at the flap 1 speed. Okay, so we're just not going to overbank. So about rate 1 turn, which is 3 degrees per second. I don't want to climb. And you can see now how these fixes on the nav display are helping us. So I'm keeping that bird, the green flight director there, on the horizon to the best of my ability. The aircraft is staying nicely on the, the flap slats marker. No errors, no squawking. That's all really good. So just keeping 1500 feet, and I want to roll out on, what did I say it was? 300, I think it was. So I need to put 300 on here. I'm going to roll out 300. Staying at 1500 feet. So 300 is set on there. I should have done that a bit earlier, but a lot's happening. We're really quite busy, and you see how the aeroplane's staying nicely at that speed. It's because we've got the approach phase activated. So I'm not on the right heading here, which means I'm tightening that turn I've got at the end. So let's keep 300. I don't want to climb. Okay, I'm just coming up to that line. Can't zoom in any more on the map. Oops. Just to make sure I'm not losing altitude now. Okay, so we're at the line, so put our timer on, looking for 45 seconds. A tiny bit of wind, look. Tiny bit. Okay, so we're maintaining 1500 feet. We've got 20 seconds elapsed. And on the video, you said it's a good idea just to memorize what you're flying over, so you can do it again on the next circuit. So we've got a little town to our left, a little waterway over there. I'm just coasting out. And we're about 45 seconds just as we coast out. So left turn onto base. Again, rate 1 turn, so that's second hit here. And we go flap 2.
Flaps 2.
We go gear down.
Gear down.
You see, I put flaps 2 and the aircraft is now slowing down. I'm not touching the throttles, they are still in the climb descent. Okay. And you see that those lines on the nav display, they're really helping me. So flap 3 now.
Flaps 3.
And we can go flap full.
Full flaps.
Start our descent about 300 feet per minute, something like that. And you can see now that that line that we've got on the nav display is going to help me line up with the runway for finals. So we can turn finals now. We're starting our descent. We just turn again a rate 1 turn. Put that little triangle on that marker there. So nice controlled turns. Still descending about 300 feet per minute, maybe slightly more than that. There's a runway ahead of me. Okay, so I can just now transition to visual flight, and we need to start coming down a bit more in earnest. So
1,000.
let's do our landing checks. So we've got 2 whites, 2 reds, so we're good at the moment. So landing checks. So gear is down, flaps are full, water brakes not selected, spoilers not selected. maintain that centre line, which I'm not doing very well at, and we're just keeping that descent profile coming down. We're all white, so a little bit high now, just going nose down just to go 2 whites, 2 reds. Come on, you can do it.
500.
500. Yeah, ground controllers. Right, so 2 whites, 2 reds. Okay, so we're nicely on the centre line. We're looking 50 feet over the end of the runway, not the displaced threshold, of course. About 50 feet over this.
50, 40, 30,
Retard.
20, retard,
Nose up.
drive,
Let it settle. Nose gear down. Flap 2. Selected. Toga. Full power.
Stand up.
That's normal. Why is it slowing down? Should be slowing down.
Go.
Go.
Toga set. Rotate.
Rotate. Okay. So
Positive climb.
positive climb. Gear come up.
Gear up.
Flap 1.
Flaps 1.
We go to bird. And we go to flight director off. We go to climb power.
Climb set.
And we're at 1500 feet. We don't want to exceed that, so we now go downwind. So 1500 feet, we're about 1600. So that all happened very quickly. Goodness me. Okay, so I'm just descending now, and I'm trying to maintain a rate 1 turn, but I'm not doing so well at that either. And we want to do the approach phase, activate approach phase. There we go. So I need to maintain. So we're 1700 feet. That's very bad. Right, let's lose that altitude. Keep coming round. Keep that turn going. Keep that turn going. Let's lose that. Right, so we're now nearly 1500. Keep that turn coming, and what we want is 300 set on the 300. We've rolled out 300.
1000.
Oops. Yeah. So the second circuit was more difficult than the first one. Goodness me. Trying to get the heading selected. Probably an easy way to do that, not that I know it. So 1500 feet, get that bird on the horizon, so we maintain that. Just going to reset the clock. So 300 we got set. We're just slightly lower than 1500, and we're downwind. If we look here, we should see the runway. There it is. Okay, coming up to the line shortly. We'll do one more touch and go after this. Maybe I'll get it right. Maybe I won't. Right, start the clock. That's running. So we've got the town there, so we're much the same position as we were before. Got the waterway there, and we should be coasting out just at around the 45-second mark. Okay, so we're nice and level, and we're on heading 300. I wonder if there is a way to set, but probably just pull it. Okay. So, what have we got now? 27 seconds. So yeah, coasting out, it's quite good. Coasting out now, right, so turning base leg, flap 2.
Flaps 2.
Gear can come down.
Gear down.
Keep that altitude. Brake one turn to base. When the gear is down, we go flap 3, then flap 4. And we can start our 300 foot descent. Okay, keep that turn coming round. Gear is down, flap 3.
Flap
Rolling
3.
out to base. Nice gentle turns.
Don't sink.
Full flaps.
Full flap.
Don't sink.
I don't know quite what we're getting.
Don't sink.
Stop it. Go away.
Don't sink.
Well, I've got gear down. I don't know
Don't
quite why
sink.
I'm getting that. I should switch that off.
Don't
So let's
sink.
look to our left. So there's the runway.
Don't sink.
Looks a good time to turn final.
Don't sink.
I'm not quite sure.
Don't sink.
Let's just switch off the GPWS. Okay, turning onto finals. Nice brake one turn. Maybe a bit steeper than that.
1,000.
And I think we've just overshot it slightly, but not by much. Let's see if we can see where that runway is. Yeah, we've overshot it. So I wonder if we can still regain that one, whether probably in the real world they would just go around. Of course we're not in the real world, so we're just not going to do that. So let's do a landing checklist. So we've got full flaps, gear down, and auto brake is off.
500.
Spoilers are not set. So what have we got? We've got all reds, so we're a bit low. So this has been a bit of a disaster of the circuit. So what I'll just do, even those up a little bit, and wait till I get 2 whites, 2 reds before. There we go, 2 whites, 2 reds. And we can start our normal profile coming in. All gentle turns. And this joystick, this Foxtrot, this honeycomb Foxtrot joystick is just a godsend. It's just so different to my older joystick. Okay, so hands on throttle, they're still in the climb detent. This is going to be a touch and go. Okay, so we're a bit low.
100.
100, 50 feet over the display threshold.
50. 40. 30. 20.
Retard. Nose up a
Right.
little bit. Just trying to hold that centre line. Right, flaps 2. Toga is set.
Stand up. Go.
So,
Toga set. Rotate.
rotate.
Positive climb.
Positive climb. Gear can come up.
Gear up.
Right, as soon as we're in the air, we can go birdie, flight director, climb power,
Climb set.
start a continuous turn, get that altitude sorted, arm the approach phase, right, climbing still. Goodness me, it is busy, isn't it? Okay, so keep that turn going around. So we're about 1,500 feet, so we're happy with that. Keep that turn coming round, and what I'll do, I could just play with the heading knob there, but to be honest with you, much easier just to roll out 300 and then pull that knob to give us that reference. So descending below 1,500, maintain 1,500. There we go. Thank you. Ah, right. So I've got flaps 2.
Flaps 1.
I have flaps 2 then. Now that's an error.
1,000.
I thought I selected flaps 2 for takeoff, but clearly I hadn't. Pulled that heading knob. Okay, I have no idea what's happening there. get up to 1500 feet. So on the rollout, I was full flaps and I thought I went to flap 2, but I clearly only went to flap 3. So anyway, we're now flap 1, now we've got 180 over the speed, and we are now better. I think I'll make this a touch and go. Not very good demo, and I am definitely not in the right place. See how the heading was wrong. Goodness me. It all goes wrong, doesn't it? I want to do at least one good circuit. Right, time should come on. I was late with the timer then, well past the line, and I'm way too close to the runway. This is not good. I'm way too high. Uh-oh. Yeah, you can see how it all snowballs horribly. Let's get proper heading sorted out. Go 300. 300, right, we've got 40 seconds now, but we're just coasting out. Right, so flap 2.
Flaps 2.
Gear can come down.
Gear down.
Again, still in the climb detent. See how the aircraft is now slowing down because it's in approach phase. We just want to start a gentle descent, 200 feet, rolling out onto our base leg. We're perpendicular to the extender centre line. Gear is down, go flap 3.
Flaps 3.
Roll out now. And flap full. And we're
Full
just going
flaps.
to look left. There's the runway over there, so we can start our turn. Okay, and keep that descent going. A couple of 100 feet per minute. Brake one turn. A bit better than the last one, but we've still overshot it, and the reason for that was because we didn't keep a tight 300 degree downwind leg. Okay, so anyway, it's 2 whites, 2 reds, so yeah, I'll take that one, but it could be better. So we've got flaps full, gear is down, spoilers not set, water brake is not set. We're just on the centre line, just coming down, keeping 2 whites, 2 reds. Okay, 2 whites, 2 reds. Oh, this joystick is beautiful. Honeycomb Foxtrot. Wow.
500.
Precise where you need it to be. There's no detent. It's just lovely. Okay, that's really nice. Good. Keeping that centre line. Keeping that centre line. Keeping that centre line. 2 whites, 2 reds. We're looking for. So this is going to be touch and go. Let's see if we can do a better job. So we're looking for 50 feet over the threshold.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
Retard.
Retard.
Nose up a tiny
Right.
bit. There we go. Nose down. Flap 3. Flap 2.
Stand up.
Toga is set.
Go. Toga set. Rotate.
Rotate.
Positive climb.
Positive climb. Gear can come up.
Gear up.
Flap 1.
Flaps 1.
We can do birdie and flight director. We can activate the approach phase. And we'll just get that 1500 feet. We'll start our left turn. And climb power.
Climb set.
Okay. 1500 feet. 1500 feet we have. Continuous turn round 2. There's so much to do, it really is quite difficult to stay ahead of it. Okay, so roll out onto our downwind is 300. We're at 1500 feet. 300 we have. Just maintain 1500 feet. 300. I think what I might do is amend that and just leave it on the runway heading, because that just gives us what we need. So 300. Whoops. Oh, yes. I'm going to leave it on the runway heading, I think, from now on. 300 we have. 1500 feet we have. We want to reset the clock. Okay, 30 we've got. 300, 1500 feet. Just came up to the line now. We're on the line, so chrono is on. So the most important thing is altitude, heading, speed. We're maintaining a good speed because we've got approach mode switched on. That all makes sense to me now. Okay, so we've got the town to our left. We should be coasting out roughly 45-second mark. We've got the waterway over there, so we're in the right position. So just maintain that altitude. And we've got now 35 seconds, 37, 41. Okay, so we can go around now. So we go flaps 2.
Flaps 2.
Gear down.
Gear down.
So rate 1 turn. Rate 1 turn. Gear is 3 greens. Go flaps 3.
Flaps 3.
And flaps 4.
Full flaps.
And we just start our descent a couple of hundred feet per minute. Maybe 300-400 feet, something like that. You've got to watch the aircraft because it does balloon when you put the flaps out. Which is what it did then. Coming round and we'll roll out on a nice base heading. Yeah, that's nice. Just look to our left. There's the runway, good time to come round, so let's do that now. Nice rate 1 turn, keep that descent though. We'll make this a touch and go. So full flaps, gear is down, water brakes are off, spoilers are off. Keep that centre line. So we've got 1 right, 1 white, 3 red, I think. Can't quite see, I think they're all red now. Oops. Gosh, it really is difficult, isn't it? Right, this is going to be our last touch and go. So we've got 1 white, 3 reds. Full flat. Okay. I love this joystick. Okay, so hand on throttle. 3 whites, just a bit high. A bit wrong.
500.
Keep that runway in the same position in the window. Help us. 2 whites, 2 reds. 50 feet over those numbers.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard,
Retard.
10,
Let it settle.
5,
Okay, flap 2. Flap 2 is set. Toga.
Stand up.
There it goes.
Go. Toga set. Rotate. Positive climb.
Positive climb. Okay.
Gear up.
Flap 3.
Flaps
Sorry,
1.
flap 1. I want the flight director. Birdie. Climb power.
Climb set.
Approach phase. Okay. 1500 feet. Plus that. Round we go. Can't see that we've got the birdie on. There we go. Now we do. Birdie is on. Round we go. Keep that birdie on the horizon. So we're going to keep the runway heading on. We're not going to worry about changing that, that's too difficult. So we just roll out 300, coming up now. And we've got that marker there. When that blue marker gets to the 180 position, we know we're exactly on the right heading. Roll out. And we're at 1500 feet. Very good. Nice speed. Let's look to our left. There's the airport. There's the town ahead of us. Let's just reset the clock. Already 1600 feet. How did that? Job is much easier if you keep that speed, keep that altitude. So this will be a full stop landing. Goodness me, isn't that easy? Right, so timer. I forgot the timer. There's the town. 1500 feet. Coming up to 35 seconds. 10 seconds to go. We're a bit late. Just turned now 40. So we want flap 2.
Flaps 2.
Gear can come down.
Gear down.
Start a gentle descent. Gentle descent. And we've got 3 greens. Yep. Flaps 3.
Flaps 3.
Flaps full.
Full flaps.
To come down. Okay. So this will be a full stop, so we'll arm the spoilers. We won't bother with the auto brake. So use manual braking. Keep that turn coming round. Keep that turn coming round. Keep that turn coming round. Let's have a look. Yeah, we'll just get straight to finals. That's good. Okay, so we've got full flap. gear is down, spoilers are armed, water brake is off, so big manual braking.
$1,000.
Yeah, my turn was a bit too gentle then, and our downwind leg was a bit too close to the runway, so we'll just keep this turn going. Really we should turn, go around, but wow, yeah, not easy. Right, let's intersect that, extend the centre line, and then we'll stop for a cup of tea. It's too difficult, but it's very good discipline though. Okay, so we've got 2 whites, 2 reds, we're good. Just regaining that centre line. A little bit high now. Okay.
$500.
I love this joystick. So 2 whites, 2 reds, we're good. Keep that centre, that runway in the same position, keep that centre line. A little bit high. 2 whites, 2 reds, good. We're 100 feet over the end of the, 50 feet over the end of the runway. Piano keys.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard.
Retard. Nose up to the
Fine.
track. Settle.
Spoilers
Nose
up.
down. Reverse is out. Spoilers
Reverse
deployed.
green.
Just look outside. Yeah, spoilers are out. Okay.
Decel. 70 knots.
Wow. Well, what can I say? That's really quite hard work. I'm not sure where the taxiways are here. I guess there's one at the end. Just about to see one there. Flaps. Spoilers.
Flaps up.
Okay. Running lights. Strobe lights. APU. I think we'll come to a stop here. Right. I think the Airbus won that, but anyway, for what it's worth, I hope it was useful, and yeah, I learned something from that. Not to do them again, I think, mainly, but no, I think they're very good for discipline, well worth doing. Okay, so here we go. There's our little EasyJet A320. Broken though after that very naughty circuit I did. I'll see you all on the next one. Hopefully I'll have recovered by then.